What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound, go over some of the data points, what's influencing it, and why SoundHound is really lagging. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is down 2.09%, 780 the low, 828 the high. So it is recovering a little bit. So the market did just have some negative data, and that was this right here. So manufacturing came in lower than the forecast, so 49 versus 50. So that does signal more of a contraction occurring in the market. And then over and above that, job opening slightly lower than the forecast, so 7.56 versus 7.6 the forecast. So all in all, not the best data, but the market took it initially as a negative, but now is starting to realize that, hey, maybe this is somewhat positive to justify a rate cut. And that's been one thing that the market's been really wanting, is rate cuts. So that's what's kind of fueling it a little bit higher as of right now. But I started to think, why on earth is SoundHound really lagging? And I get it. Largely it's not profitable, so it's kind of more of a speculative play, momentum stock right now, but still it's been hit very hard. In fact, over the last 1 month it is down 27.69%. over the last 6 months still doing fairly well, but you guys get the idea. It's been going down quite a lot. So in my opinion, their last earnings, they didn't actually fully break down where the revenue comes from. 2023, they stated that most of the revenue comes from autos. So of course, that is not necessarily the best sector right now, because of course the auto tariffs are really going to dampen demand. Not necessarily for Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, but for a lot of the other ones, Stellantis, one of them, which technically SoundHound has that partnership with, it won't be the best. And so I think all in all, that is where the market is seeing SoundHound just maybe indirectly reduction in revenue. So that's just my viewpoint. That's the only logical explanation that I have on why SoundHound has been hit so much, because there's a lot of companies out there that fit the criteria of SoundHound. So very speculative, momentum stocks, not profitable, but those ones have only been hit like a fraction of what SoundHound has. So in my opinion, I think it has to do more with the auto side during their last earnings. So they did kind of mention in 2024 their revenue was somewhat evenly divided. So again, they didn't really break it down, but maybe that's what the market is seeing it as. Shorts are currently increasing 1.63 million shares. 33.05% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 118.58 million shares overall being shorted. So as per usual, shorts are just increasing, just trying to suppress SoundHound. But so far, within the first about hour and a half of the trading day, you have 520,000 in calls, 648,000 in puts. 50% of all the options being done today are bearish in nature. Of the call options that are being done, you see a consensus for it to recover roughly around the 850 mark. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub 8. Not much going on from the bears, but like I said, just essentially you're seeing a little bit more upside based on this. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So roughly 5 transactions, 1 sell, 4 buys. So big money is buying the SoundHound dip. So that's kind of a good thing. These are all the transactions that did occur so far on the dark pool. So dark pool a little bit more popular because this is often enough linked to shorting. So shorts and SoundHound, they've been best friends, or maybe not best friends, but they've been correlated for quite some time now. But with it right now at $7.96, trading between these 2 points, so this pivot in this S1, so 769 is going to be that strong support. Hasn't been tested today, but aside from that, $9.18 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. So it's kind of just stuck in limbo between there. As far as on the actual chart itself, one key point that I've really stated that you really want to watch for SoundHound to get above early on this week is this 200-day moving average, $8.64. So hopefully with the good momentum, we could see some like a nice push higher, because the next big data point coming out on a larger standpoint is Friday. So that's unemployment, non-farm payroll, and also Powell. So you might see a nice recovery, a V-shape kind of push higher up until Friday, and then depending on that data, then we'll see how that plays out. But couple of key points to, like I said, watch for is just that, at least in the short term, that $8.64. No new analyst ratings, no articles really coming out talking about SoundHound, so it's just fallen off the radar. And I think there was some good comments in my video yesterday saying like, well, SoundHound's just going down because people lost interest. And honestly, that does happen with a momentum stock. You need constant updates, you need to reassure investors, you need big money to get in, and a lot of that hasn't really been happening all that much with SoundHound. So I do tend to agree with a lot of individuals. SoundHound did largely fall off the radar, and it happens, right? It happened in 2024 for the beginning part, and then it just kicked off. So you never know when the momentum will come back. So if you do believe in SoundHound, take advantage, buy the dip, do what you need to do. I really like SoundHound and what they're really moving towards. Of course, I bring up some negatives because I don't think that they're perfect, but at least they are striving and they're being a little bit more transparent. Better marketing would be helpful, but it is what it is. If they were perfect, they wouldn't be at this price level. They'd be back in the teens and so forth. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Have you been buying the dip? Have you been selling? What's your kind of general thoughts on all of that? One final thing, if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I get buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.